how would you handle this? You're sitting with your mom and she goes to start changing your baby's diaper. And you're like, oh, that's okay, Mom. I got it. But she doesn't hear a kind gesture like you don't want to burden her. She hears, I don't trust you with my baby. You're unsafe. You're unfit. And the only way you know that's what she heard, because she actually goes silent and ghosts you now for well over a month, is because your sister comes at you saying, I can't believe you told Mom you don't trust her with your baby. Once you found this out, you go to your mom and you have this firm, direct conversation with her. You let her know you hurt me. You assume the worst and you didn't even come talk to me first. Like, why would you tell people I said that? I never said that I didn't trust you. And now you're coming to us asking, what was that? So first of all, I'm so sorry that happened. If it's the first time you've ever butted into that, I'm very, very sorry. It's very alarming the first time. I've talked about this a lot in other videos, but I do want to walk you through just in case this is the first time you're seeing me, or this obviously she hasn't seen it in other videos. So I'm going to walk you through the brain on fire, and it's what I call this behavioral reaction that happens very predictably with people who are emotionally immature. And when I talk about emotional immaturity, I am doing this with my whole heart. I'm trying to help us understand a whole population more so that we don't just ice them out. I have family members who are emotionally immature. I have worked with clients long term. I have worked with clients, just on and off for almost 15 years. I have a lot of empathy for this population. And when I'm trying to explain, I'm not trying to excuse. I understand when their brain lights on fire and they start doing all their destructive behaviors, it's very, very damaging and harmful. I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm trying to help us understand so that we don't start keep butting up, basically expecting them to do things they're not capable of. I truly think it's important that we understand this population, because every single one of us has someone in our life who is emotionally immature. And I believe with more compassion and understanding and healthy boundaries, we can have relationships and improve our relationships, and we can keep our peace. So that's why I do this, and I really am very passionate about it. But to start to understand the brain on fire moment, I want you to step into this moment. We have all had it where you are on, let's just say, the last stint of a road trip. You have two little toddlers in the back. Maybe one's a little bit younger and teething. You're hangry. Your butt's numb. You're just sore. You want to get out of this damn car. And your kid throws a stuffed animal at your head and boom, you snap. You are so done. And you have this adult temper tantrum. You say things you don't mean. You just act really silly. We've all done that, right? We've all had these human moments. That is a moment, but what differentiates that moment from someone who is considered emotionally immature is that they have a pattern of this. This is a pattern behavior. That's a moment. But you can empathize with that, because that feeling of losing control, of feeling I can't take one more thing and you snap, I feel they're walking through life prepared to snap at any moment because they are protecting their deepest fear. They don't want it to be true. And that deepest fear could be I'm not good enough, I'm inferior, I'm unlovable. There's a lot of deep fears, you're gonna leave me. And they're going through life almost like a burn victim. So the slightest breeze, that hint of rejection or something, a boundary can feel like a personal attack to them. It lights a fire in their brain, and then a series of events that just burns a lot of stuff down. And it's, like I said, it's really destructive. So what happened to this in this situation where she's hey Mom, I'll wrap the diaper. Well, I guess you do, but I'll change the diaper. Don't worry about that. I believe that statement made this mom feel maybe inferior. You don't know how to do it, or you won't do it right, or you're not good enough. Something happened. And when they feel that, really close to that insecurity, they have to get it far, far away from it. So the next thing is once they feel it, the life threat is detected, Our brain, everyone's brain, not just theirs, our brain doesn't know the difference between my daughter's just saying she'll change the diaper and a tiger's about to attack. So our brain activates like it's a tiger. So that's why it's so extreme, like their reactions. And once that happens, they activate their defense system. And this defense system is the most impressive that I have ever seen. And it gets their needs, like to protect themselves from feeling shame, to get them far away from that feeling. But also in just a little bit, I'll show you how it meets their need as well. But this defense system is top notch. I've sat in the room so many times, and I've literally watched someone communicate something so clearly, so calmly. And as they're communicating it, the emotionally immature person is rewriting it in real time. That's why I don't ever advise confronting your reality, like what really happened, with their distorted reality, because that rewritten story, like their story twist, is their truth. Like they truly believe that is what happened. Like, so they rewrite it in that moment, and then they get so worked up that they leave the interaction with you, whether it's after a big explosion, or it can look like they just kind of like sulk away, like they're really wounded. That's really hard too. It's both ends of the spectrum, like really big, and they can say like you're too sensitive, or, you know, slam doors, whatever. Or they can start crying and go silent for days. Same thing. We're still dealing with emotional immaturity. They just show it in different ways. But once they leave you, I have noticed they can't self-soothe. And so the last part of this brain on fire model is they have to tell somebody about it. And they call somebody, or they tell multiple people, but what they tell is their version, their story twist, because that is their truth. And what this story twist does is it guarantees them validation that you are superior, you are good enough, you could have changed that diaper. It makes them feel better and brings them back to zero and calms them down. That's what I believe happened. And I think I think it's so important that we understand this. I don't know if I've said this, because sometimes I have to take this multiple times. I believe with my whole heart that they're not trying to do this. Like, I believe that they have limited amount of skills. Like, when I say stunted or limited, it's just that they don't have the skill set we do as mature adults. So even though you're looking at an adult, Dr. Lindsay Gibson, I used to say, like, it's as if they're acting like a teenager, but even teenagers have more insight than an emotionally immature, like, parent does most of the time. It's more like you're dealing with a toddler, like having a tantrum at Target. Like, that's the skill set you're dealing with. So for me, I am prepared for that to happen. And I know what's going on in their system. I know they believe the story. I know that this mom believes that this is what you said to her. So if this were happening to me, I would correct my sister. That actually didn't happen. I just didn't want to burden her with a poopy diaper. You know, anyway, what did you and Ryan do like this last weekend when you went out? So I just changed the subject. I correct it. I don't get involved. I don't get emotional about it. I don't allow myself to do it because I'm prepared, just like winter. I don't get mad when the snow starts. I know it's going to come every single year. I live in Minnesota. I am prepared for winter. I am prepared for family members to bring back story twists, and I don't get activated from it, and I don't get drug into it. So I correct the story, just keep going on like normal, and I don't confront like their story twist with reality. I instead would go to that mom and I would just say, hey mom, I just talked to Melissa, and I guess something that I said or did, I think it must have got misinterpreted. I think you might be feeling like I don't trust you with the baby. Like, that is the furthest thing from the truth. So I just wanted to let you know, like, I totally trust you with the baby. So now that that's clear, can you tell me about yoga? So I don't confront, because that is their truth. I just simply correct that narrative. I just let them know, like, I do. And what I have noticed, what my friends have noticed when they use this system, is that it puts out the fire. But when you confront, it's like putting gasoline all over it, and it gets worse when you try to like tell them that their reality is wrong. So that's how I would continue to handle this. I would be using Secure the Bond scripts. I know that, you use firm, direct language, and that is definitely a method. I can't communicate that way as a sensitive people pleaser. So I would use Secure the Bond scripts. I have found that when I have a more attachment-based startup, then I state my limit, then I frame it how this would benefit you, that goes a lot further. So that is what I would do.